In this video I'm going to show you how to change the rear windscreen wiper on an Audi A6 C6. I'm pretty certain that the sedan, the Avant, they're all the same. I believe this is literally the same on all the Audi A6s, C6s, and probably the same for a lot of others. But that is supposed to be there. Obviously it's not. That's scratching there, and also the inside of that has actually worn out. It looks fine, but every time I put a windscreen wiper in there, it's lasted 2 seconds and flown off on the motorway. So step one, let's try and get this off. I don't recommend doing this, but I know this is rusty to crap, and I believe on the back of that, so on the underside of that, I'm pretty certain the rubber tube actually connects onto that, so you don't want to burn that because it will melt it off the back. So I'm just going to put a little tiny bit of heat into it and see if I can get that off. So we've got that nut out, and I'm only going to assume that that can just pull off. Maybe I'm wrong. That to me looks like it should just come off. Right, I've got my most pointless pliers I've ever purchased on here. Let's see if that will work. I bet you I'm doing something wrong here and you're supposed to undo something else. But I think that should just come straight off. God, that's on there tight. Anyway, here's the wiper. I got this off eBay. I cannot remember how much it was. I think it was less than £30. So let's get that out. And what's great about this, I didn't realise, but it comes with the windscreen wiper. It does look quite cheap, but it doesn't matter because it's free in a sense. Let's get this one out. Okay, that's what it's supposed to look like. First impressions, the moulding doesn't look fantastic if I'm being totally honest. It's like, I know that's just a cap, but it doesn't look great, does it, that? And there's no thread in there, but look, you can see it's got a chamfer on it. Like the outside diameter, I'll try and explain that a bit better. So the diameter of the circle there is different to the diameter of the circle all the way in there. So it's tapered like a cone. So that means it just pulls off. So I'm gonna have to do that without smashing the windscreen, the rear window even. I've now got the blowtorch in there, heated that up, I've snapped that bit off. Let's see if it'll come out now with a bit more persuasion. Come on. I've literally melted it and it still won't come out. Right, I'm gonna do this off camera. So this is just getting worse and worse. The whole plastic thing has come off, which is that piece there, and that metal ring that's been pressed into the plastic is still in there. But the good thing about that is I can actually get a lot more leverage on it, and I'm going to get the blowtorch on that again. Just please don't break the windscreen because it's quite cold here in the UK, and that I'm imagining would smash if you get any more heat onto it, so I'm going to be careful now. Well, I've just realised that that is actually brass, and that I'm going to take a guess is aluminium because it's got all corrosion on it, and that's very typical of Audi because I like putting dissimilar metals together. But you can see the crust in that, so I'm going to try heat that up a little bit more, cover that up, not burn that. I have actually damaged that a tiny bit there, but there's not actually a hole in it. Right, I'm going to heat that up, WD-40, wire brush it, and see if we can undo it. I've heated it up and I'm about to get... Come on. Yeah, I think that's actually freed up now. Look at all the oxidation in there. That's the amount of crap in there. That was so close. I almost damaged the rubber grommet. No way. It's actually loose. What's been holding that on is all of that oxidation of the aluminium. Yes. Right. Don't need that anymore. Do need that. Right, you can see that that is pretty corroded still. I'll put a blob of copper grease on that as well, just to stop it happening again. Obviously, by the time I need to replace that, the car will probably be in a scrapyard, so Right, I've cleaned that off as best as I can, and I've also put some copper grease on there, what you Americans call NICs. That'll do. Let's get the wiper on. Pretty sure it was like that. So what I'm going to do is, I imagine wherever that gets pressed into, it's going to have to stay there. So I'm going to try and have it a little bit higher, because I don't want it hitting that again. So if I can put that maybe slightly above where it normally goes, so halfway between those two lines on the windscreen, I think that's sensible, because over time it's going to start to sag again and it's going to start chipping the paint off here. So I'm going to stick it there and put the bolt in. One thing I would like to say, which I'm not too happy about, is it doesn't come with a spare bolt. So if you lose that, I guess you'd have to go and find one with the same thread and whatever. But what I'm not too happy about is that there's supposed to be a thing that sticks on the end of that, which looks like that, and the little plastic bits go through those two openings, and it goes like that. So my rear windscreen washer still doesn't work, but at least I've got a rear windscreen wiper. So as for that, I'm gonna have to try and find it. I'm pretty certain I found that piece on the floor. I'm pretty sure I put it in one of my toolboxes somewhere, so that's, just bear that in mind. If yours hasn't got one, try and buy one that actually has one. So there we go, there's going to be the last fitting of that. Obviously everybody knows how to do that. Okay, there we go. That's it, all done. I have got a load of videos coming out. I've got all of this. Just purchased that one there. And the Astra van is still parked up. Audi's still good. This Jimny, I'm planning on driving this to Spain this winter, so we'll see if I do. And it's got a few little bits and bobs on it, but it's a bit of a sneak preview because this video of this isn't on YouTube yet, or it might be, I don't know anymore. I've got so sidetracked with all my videos, I'm not sure what order they're going to come out in.